weight painting from her right side, so our left, over to her left side, right? So for us to do that, all you do is you go to the third tab here, and just be aware of the axis of the mirroring and the direction. So this direction, going from right to left of Betty, is basically the x-axis. You can see here from the world axis, it's x, right? And it defaults positive to negative, which means the left side of Betty, so our right side, goes to the goes towards the negative axis, negative x. So it goes towards the left leg here, right? But we want the opposite way, right? We want the ankle to go to this side. So that means you have to switch over here. Does that make sense? Right? Okay, so this is important here, just figuring this out. Another important part too is if for some reason the mirroring doesn't work, right? Like let's say you press mirror and for some reason it didn't really work out well. Maybe some of the joints are missing weights. You can always go here. It says preview and edit mapping. It's always nice to check if the mirroring is actually working. So this window here shows where the weights go, right? Like some joints are actually within Betty's symmetry line, like say the spine joints. So that doesn't get mirrored at all. That's why the destination of it says self. It just goes into itself. Whereas something like left shoulder, obviously the mirror would be the right shoulder. So you see here, the destination is right shoulder, right? So the way this mapping works, NG Skin Tools figures it out in two ways. One is through distance calculation. So it was able to automatically map these because of the distancing, right? Like basically it looked at, say for the clavicle, it looked at both and it probably recognized, okay, the left clavicle and the right clavicle, look at these values in the translate. The only difference is translate Z is negative, right? So it's through the distance that it's able to like detect. But sometimes distance calculation, matching by rule through distance, doesn't work. And that's usually the reason why it doesn't work. So you can also rely on the naming convention of your joints, right? You can see here, left, right? So right now here, it says naming scheme. It's got all these other prefixes. But if you typed your own prefix, like left underscore, and then the opposite of that would be your right underscore, right? And then as soon as I get that in, you can see here now, the matching is no longer done by distance. NG Skin Tools is now relying on your naming convention. Does that make sense? Any questions about that, guys? Okay. So that's basically how you make sure that it's mapped. Okay. Awesome. All right, I just want to show that because a few people did ask that this week and last week. Okay, I'm gonna hop over to our character again. We are here. Okay, so maybe 5 more minutes for the sculpting. Okay. When it comes to sculpting, guys, really it's mostly just this smoothing the surface. Maybe this as well. This one here does not influence shape. It only moves the vertices along the existing shape, right? And make sure you have your symmetry on when you do this. Hopefully you have the armpits kind of like this as well. Okay, so you can see here on the inner side of the arm, the vertices are closer together compared to over here.